All right, so let's jump into it today.
Okay.
We're going to be looking at Danaher.
That's good.
That's ticker symbol DHR.
Uh-huh.
And, imagine we have a client, right?
Sure.
And they're saying, hey, is this something that should be in my portfolio?
Okay.
Is this a company that's looking strong? Or are there some red flags we need to be aware of?
Right.
So that's our mission today.
Okay.
And we're going to use Danaher's own words, right?
Okay.
Their 2023 10K filing.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a financial analyst,
You and me both.
so thankfully we have an expert
I can help with that, yeah.
to help us understand all this.
Yeah, there's a lot in those 10Ks.
Oh, absolutely.
Like a lot of information.
So when it comes to Danaher,
yeah.
what's their deal?
So they're a global science and technology innovator, but
Okay.
with kind of a conglomerate structure.
Okay.
So they have all these different businesses
All right.
in a range of sectors, but they're really focused on life sciences and biotechnology.
So that gives us some background. But as an investor,
Uh-huh.
I'm looking for something special, right?
Of course.
What gives this company an edge?
Okay.
And one thing that I kept seeing in this 10K was this term DBS.
Yeah, they're DBS.
What is that all about?
That is the Danaher business system.
Okay.
That's kind of their secret sauce.
Interesting.
It's not even really just like a set of tools.
Mhm.
It's like their operating philosophy. It's a cultural framework. They even say in the 10K that a major goal is strengthening competitive advantage through consistent application of DBS tools and culture.
So it's like in their DNA.
It is. It is.
And they credit it with a lot of their success.
yeah, especially when it comes to revenue growth.
Okay, so speaking of revenue growth,
Mhm.
one thing that jumped out at me was that in 2023,
Yeah.
Danaher's revenue was down 10.5%.
It was a tough year for them.
Yeah, that's a big red flag for investors.
So it is something to notice for sure.
What happened?
So a big part of that 10.5% decline is from a decrease in core sales. And core sales, it's just the existing business performing organically.
Yeah.
It excludes the impact of all the acquisitions and divestitures and currency fluctuations, all that.
So even with all that noise removed, their existing businesses were struggling.
Yeah, they didn't do great.
So if we dig deeper,
Yeah.
where do we see the biggest drops?
So if you break it down by segment,
Okay.
biotechnology was down 18%,
Okay.
and life sciences was down 11.5%.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So those are both areas that you would think are booming right now.
You would think so.
What's driving those declines?
So a few things are happening. First, you have the post-COVID world, right?
Sure.
Demand for those COVID-related products is just not what it was.
Right.
So Danaher had benefited from that in the past.
Makes sense.
But that's cooled off.
What else?
We also see, just in general, a decrease in customer demand. And customers are reducing their inventory levels.
Oh, so they're not stocking up like they were.
Right. And then on top of that,
Yeah.
you've got a tighter credit environment.
Oh.
And that's been tough on those emerging biotechnology companies.
Yeah.
So they're not able to invest as much in Danaher's products.
So it's kind of a perfect storm against them?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, so some revenue challenges there.
Yeah.
But what about profitability?
Okay.
Did those declining sales hit their margins?
Well, this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Because Danaher is actually known for consistently expanding their margins.
Oh, wow. Okay. And that's music to an investor's ears, right?
The good sign. Yeah.
Margin expansion, even if revenue is not skyrocketing,
Right.
shows that they can increase profitability.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what's their secret?
Well, they'd say a lot of it is thanks to that DBS system.
All right.
Remember, that's all about continuous improvement.
Uh-huh.
Helps them control costs,
Okay.
operate more efficiently.
So it all comes back to the DBS.
It does.
But how does that actually work?
So margin growth, it happens in a few ways. First, you have pricing power.
Uh-huh.
Can they increase prices without losing customers?
Right.
Then there's cost control.
Keep those expenses in check.
Exactly. And then the last thing is operational efficiency.
Right.
Squeezing more profit out of each revenue dollar.
And Danaher seems to be good at all of those.
Yeah, they seem to be. They're hitting on all cylinders.
But profitability goes beyond just gross margin, right?
It does.
What about operating profit and net earnings?
Yeah, those are important metrics.
Like after all the expenses are paid,
Exactly.
how much money are they actually making?
Yeah, we need to look at that for sure.
Let's do that when we come back.
All right, sounds good.
We'll dig deeper into Danaher's operating profit and net earnings,
Okay,
then explore the strength of their balance sheet and cash flow.
that'll be good.
So stay tuned.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, so we're back
Yeah.
and ready to dig into those operating profit and net earnings.
Right.
Now, these are
Yeah.
the numbers that tell us after all the expenses are paid,
After all the dust settles.
how much money
Yeah.
are they actually making?
The bottom line.
The bottom line. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we talked about those revenue declines and those key segments.
Yeah.
That's going to impact the operating profit and net earnings.
Right. Declining sales usually mean declining profits.
Yeah, unless they can really...
Unless they tighten their belts.
Yeah, cut costs somewhere.
Yeah.
So what does the 10K tell us about their operating profit and net earnings?
So, as you might expect, both operating profit and net earnings were down in 2023 compared to the previous year. Yeah. The 10K lays it out pretty clearly.
Not a huge surprise.
Not really.
Given those revenue trends.
Right.
But how bad are we talking here?
It was a noticeable drop.
Okay.
But you have to remember this is just 1 year.
Right. The bigger picture.
Yeah.
So let's shift gears a bit and talk about this term that we hear a lot about. Balance sheet strength.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Okay, so think of a company's balance sheet as like a snapshot of its financial health. Okay. It shows what the company owns.
Okay, their assets?
Their assets, what they owe.
Okay, liabilities.
Their liabilities, and then the difference between the two, which represents the owner's stake, the equity.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a financial report card.
Exactly.
And just like you'd want a company with a solid academic record, you'd want one with a strong balance sheet.
Exactly, yeah.
It means they can handle those economic ups and downs.
Yeah, weather the storm.
Yeah.
Maybe jump on some opportunities for growth. Reward shareholders with dividends.
Or buybacks.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So how does Danaher's balance sheet measure up?
Danaher, they're actually known for having a pretty robust balance sheet.
Okay.
The 10K shows they have a good amount of cash and cash equivalents.
Okay, so that's cash on hand. Yeah, ready to go.
Always a good sign.
It is.
And what about debt?
Right, so that's another area where they do pretty well.
Okay.
Debt levels are manageable, especially compared to their earnings and their cash flow.
All right, so not over-leveraged.
No, they've been responsible.
That's good.
Yeah, it gives them more flexibility.
Okay, so it sounds like they're in a good spot.
Yeah.
To face whatever challenges come their way.
They seem to be well-positioned.
All right, and speaking of challenges, we have to talk about cash flow.
Cash flow, yeah, the lifeblood. You always hear that.
Yeah.
Cash is king.
Cash is king.
Especially in those uncertain economic times.
Right.
Strong cash flow means a company can keep investing.
Yeah.
Pay down that debt.
Keep those shareholders happy.
Keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is about the money actually coming in and going out.
Yeah, the ins and outs.
How's Danaher doing there?
They have a history of generating strong cash flow.
And this is another place where that DBS system comes in.
It all comes back to the DBS.
It does.
What is it about that system that helps them?
So their focus on operational efficiency, that helps them optimize their working capital.
Okay.
Improve their cash conversion.
All right, so they're efficiently generating cash.
Yeah, doing it well.
From their operations.
Exactly.
All right, so we've covered revenue, profitability.
We've looked at the balance sheet.
Balance sheet strength.
Yeah.
Cash flow.
What else is there?
What's next?
All right, now we get to the heart of it.
Okay.
Their product lineup, their position in the market, and their plan for the future.
Because you could be financially sound.
Right.
But if your products are outdated,
you're not going to last.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
So let's crack open this 10K.
Okay.
And dive into those details.
Let's do it.
So what can you tell us about their product portfolio? All right, so as we said, Danaher mainly operates in the biotechnology and life sciences sectors.
Okay.
And their portfolio is really diverse.
Okay.
Think like lab equipment, consumables, services, all used in research development.
Okay.
Even manufacturing of biotherapeutics.
Okay, so that's a pretty broad range.
Yeah, it is.
What are some specific examples from the 10K?
So in the biotechnology segment, they offer bioprocessing equipment.
Okay.
This is essential for manufacturing biologics, like antibodies and vaccines. Okay. Things like large-scale bioreactors, purification systems.
So this is what companies use to develop those medicines.
Yes, they're providing the tools.
Interesting. And then in life sciences.
In life science.
What are they doing there?
They have a bunch of products used in genomics research, like gene editing technologies, and diagnostic systems.
So they're right there on the cutting edge.
They are.
Very cool. But how do they stack up against their competitors?
So Danaher's a major player, one of the largest and most respected in these sectors. They're known for quality and innovation.
All right, so their size.
Their size and global reach definitely gives them an advantage. And they've been smart about acquisitions, too.
They have. Speaking of acquisitions.
Yes.
The 10K mentions this purchase of Abcam.
Abcam, yeah.
What's the deal with that?
So Abcam is a leader in protein consumables. This includes antibodies, reagents, assays, all that. It's essential for research and diagnostics. So this acquisition broadens their footprint in that proteomics market.
All right, so they're expanding into new areas?
Yeah, and that's a rapidly growing field. Huge potential there.
Huge potential, but every company faces risks and challenges. Right.
Of course.
What could stand in Danaher's way?
So we have to look at both sides, the upsides and the downsides. So competition, that's a major factor. Life sciences, biotechnology, these industries are fast-moving, competitive.
Always evolving.
New players are always emerging.
So Danaher has to stay ahead of the game.
They do.
What else?
Technological disruption.
Oh, yeah.
So science is always evolving. New technologies make products obsolete all the time.
So they have to stay agile.
They have to, and adaptable.
Invest in R&D.
They have to keep innovating,
And, of course, there's the economy.
The economy, always.
Global instability.
Recessions.
Could impact demand.
All that,
Yeah, so we've covered a lot.
We have.
But I'm curious about their roadmap for the future. What insights can we get from the 10K?
Right, so the 10K is not going to give us like a step-by-step roadmap.
Right.
But there are clues based on their strategic priorities and their recent actions.
Okay, so let's examine those clues.
Right.
What stands out to you?
So remember their big emphasis on the Danaher Business System?
EBS.
DBS. They're clearly committed to that to drive operational excellence and innovation. They view this as a key differentiator, a source of sustainable competitive advantage.
So it's not just corporate jargon.
It's not just a buzzword, no.
This is central to their strategy.
It's at the core of what they do. And they also highlight the importance of strategic capital allocation. They're going to be very careful about how they invest their money, focusing on acquisitions. And internal investments.
Like Abcam.
Like Abcam, exactly.
That align with those long-term goals.
Yeah.
So they're putting their money where their mouth is.
And they also talk about attracting and retaining top talent. Recognizing that their people are their most valuable asset.
Yeah, makes sense.
They're investing in talent development programs, nurturing a culture of innovation.
So it's all connected.
It is.
A strong culture, continuous improvement.
It all matters.
Strategic investments, a talented workforce.
All part of the equation.
All vital ingredients for a company's success.
It really is.
So after this deep dive, what's your verdict?
So I can't give specific financial advice.
Of course.
But I can say Danaher is a company worth watching. They have a lot going for them. Strong track record of profitability, healthy balance sheet.
We saw that.
Dedication to innovation. But they do face challenges. Intense competition. Threat of disruption.
The economy.
All those factors.
It's not necessarily a buck.
Not a slam dunk.
But not a pass either.
Definitely worth considering.
Yeah, it sounds like their future depends on how well
they
can leverage their strengths.
And navigate those challenges.
And that's why we do this.
That's it.
These deep dives.
It gives investors the knowledge they need.
To make informed decisions.
Exactly.
So,
that
wraps up.
It does.
Our look at Danaher.
Our deep dive.
Hopefully this has been helpful.
I hope so.
In understanding this complex company.
It's a fascinating one.
It is.
For sure.
And we encourage you.
Keep learning.
To continue exploring.
Explore that 10K.
The 10K.
Do your own research.
Do your own research.
The more informed you are, the better.
Absolutely.
The better your decisions will be.
All right. That's all the time we have for this deep dive.
Sounds good.
But until next time, stay curious.
Stay curious.
Stay informed. And happy investing.
Happy investing.
Okay, so the 10K doesn't give us a roadmap.
Right.
But you said there were clues.
Clues about their future.
So let's look at those.
Okay.
What are the big hints about where they're headed?
Well, remember how much they emphasize the Danaher business system.
Oh, yeah, the DBS.
That DBS, they're all in on using that to drive operational excellence and innovation across all their businesses.
Makes sense.
It's what sets them apart.
Okay, so it's not just a buzzword.
No, it's at the heart of their strategy.
Okay, and what else?
They also highlight the importance of what they call strategic capital allocation.
Okay, so how they spend their money.
Exactly. They're going to be really careful about where they invest.
Right.
Focusing on acquisitions.
Like AppCam.
Exactly, like AppCam.
That fit with their long-term goals.
Yeah.
They're putting their money where their mouth is.
They are. And here's another interesting thing.
Okay.
From the 10K. Getting committed to getting and keeping top talent.
Okay, so attracting.
Yeah, attracting and retaining.
As people.
The best, yeah, because they recognize that their people are their most valuable asset.
Yeah.
So they're investing in talent development programs.
Yeah.
Building a culture of innovation.
So it's all connected.
It really is. It's all part of the picture.
Strong culture.
Yeah.
Continuous improvement.
Absolutely.
Smart investments.
Yeah.
And a talented team.
It all contributes to success.
That's what makes Danaher such an interesting case study.
They've consistently adapted and evolved to stay ahead of the game.
All right, so let's bring it all home now for our listeners who might be thinking about investing in Danaher after this deep dive. What's the takeaway?
So I can't give financial advice.
Of course.
But I can say Danaher's worth keeping an eye on. They have a lot of strengths. Consistent profits. Solid balance sheet.
We saw that.
A commitment to innovation.
Definitely.
But they also face some headwinds.
Right.
A lot of competition out there, potential disruption.
The economy always a factor?
The economy always is. So
not a sure thing.
Not a slam dunk, no.
But definitely not one to ignore.
Worth considering.
And it sounds like their future really hinges on how well they can use their strengths.
Yeah, leverage those strengths.
To overcome those challenges.
Exactly.
And that's why we do these deep dives.
That was the goal.
To give you the information.
Yeah, arm you with knowledge.
So you can make informed investment decisions.
Informed decisions.
Well said.
Thank you.
So that wraps up our deep dive into Danaher.
Yeah.
We hope this analysis has been valuable
I hope so.
For you.
Yeah.
And has given you a framework for evaluating.
Yeah,
for understanding.
It's a complex one.
It is.
But a fascinating one.
It really is.
For sure.
And remember, this is just the starting point.
The beginning of your journey.
We encourage you to continue exploring Danaher's 10K.
Yeah, dig in.
And do your own research.
Keep learning.
The more you know,
absolutely,
the better equipped you are.
The better your decisions will be.
To make smart investment choices.
That's it.
Until next time.
Okay.
Stay curious.
Stay curious.
Stay informed.
Yeah.
And happy investing.
Happy investing.